In a change to the schedule, you can now see highlights of today's World Cup semi-final between Australia and the West Indies on BBC1 at the moment. While here on BBC2 in a few minutes, live debate on the midnight hour. First, a look at the weather with David Lee and Ski Report.
Hello, well it's Thursday evening, time to look at the skiing across Europe, and the high pressure is still there, dominating the conditions across Scandinavia, in fact most of Eastern Europe under the influence of that high, giving some snow across Scandinavia, but further south generally dry conditions. And then further south still to the Mediterranean, low pressure, that's still going to give some rain around, but still cold enough for some snow across the Pyrenees and some parts of the Alps. But at lower levels we have seen temperatures higher than recently. That yellow colour there across eastern France into some parts of Switzerland represents temperatures of about 12 to 14 degrees. But on the higher slopes, temperatures certainly still cold enough for a fair amount of snow. So let's take a look at that in some detail and start with the Pyrenees. And here across Andorra at Sol-Dieu, well here generally good skiing everywhere, and there will be some more snowfall over the coming weekend. Temperatures at the moment -5, and that snow drifting down on quite a fresh northerly wind. Further east now into France, well here at Tignes, firn conditions giving rather sticky conditions with temperatures about +4, but generally good skiing on the piste. At Flaine, well here much milder with some slush, temperatures +1, on piste conditions generally fair. Over the weekend there will be some further snowfall, mostly in the form of showers with quite a fresh northerly wind. Further east in Switzerland at Crans-Montana, well the higher piste and glacier areas probably the best. Temperature about -1, and there will be some further snow flurries over the weekend, not everywhere, some places staying dry, and the same sort of weather further east in Austria. So some of the detail across Austria, well at Obergurgl here generally good, some warm patches I think, temperatures at the moment +4, but overnight really quite sharp frost. Elsewhere in Austria, much the same, all pistes in good shape, despite daytime temperatures above freezing, there will be frost around at night. Now across Italy I think we're going to find fresh snow and tricky visibility at first, but outlook is generally excellent as the weather becomes drier with very, very few snow showers over the coming weekend. Now there will be some more snow showers across Scotland, those easterly winds still bringing cold weather there. The frontal system too ensures that there will be some further snow flurries. So Friday morning snow flurries across northeast Scotland. There will be some snow too across the higher parts of Wales with rain at lower levels. That's going to be pushing its way eastwards with much milder weather actually following into the southwestern part of Britain, whilst it stays cold and windy in the northeast. And that's the way it's going to stay through much of the weekend with the driest, brightest, warmest weather over Britain across central and southern parts of England and Wales. So for Scotland for the weekend, rather cloudy, some sleet and snow around. Perhaps the main thing is that those winds, those strong southeasterly winds, are going to decrease. So generally speaking, over the weekend, conditions over Scotland should be quite good for skiing, with all runs there generally complete. Now let's take a look across the Atlantic into North America. And at Canada, Whistler, best skiing here at altitude, temperatures +2, but on the piste, good conditions. Off the piste, rather heavy. In the United States, well at Aspen, all lifts and all trails open, good conditions on the piste. Temperatures, I think the best you can hope for here, about -3 degrees. And at Copper Mountain, well 19 lifts and 116 runs all open. Good conditions on the piste, temperatures about +2. Now we are going to see some changes in the weather across many parts of North America. On Friday, quite mild conditions pushing their way right up into southern parts of Canada. But over the next few days, the blue colours to the north, they're going to sweep their way south through many of the rocky areas, so much colder weather pushing southwards temporarily as we go through this coming weekend. And that colder weather is also likely to bring some rain, sleet and snow. At the moment, southwesterly winds means perhaps a short spell of rain, but the white dots there indicate the snow into southern parts of Canada, and that's going to be pushing steadily southwards through the Rockies as we go through the weekend. But then with an area of high pressure following, it should become fine and dry with some sunshine, but of course overnight sharp frost, perhaps a little bit more snow to come for the latter part of the weekend. Well, that's it from me. I wish you a very good night.
BBC2 now makes way for the midnight hour with Trevor Phillips. Now on BBC2, a very warm welcome to the Learning Zone. And here's the lineup tonight on the Learning Zone. In a moment, the Open University, followed at 2 by FETV for students and teachers in further and adult education. BBC Focus at 4 o'clock includes advanced Italian and health and safety at work. And finally, there's more from the OU at 6 with programs on biology, chemistry and history. The Open University is where it's happening now as we take a look at tonight's programs. In half an hour, travel with us to Rotterdam to see how many fire stations the city needs and where's the best place for them. And at 1:30 we see how the introduction of domestic electricity revolutionized the lives of women. But first, the West had high hopes of eradicating poverty and famine in the world by the 1990s. So what went wrong, and is there a way forward now?